If two or more players are tied for the highest score, everyone else not tied for the highest score wins, as is tradition in Hydra games. That tells you pretty much all you need to know about the tone of Weird Giraffe's upcoming roll and write Reef and Ruins. A light, albeit fairly crunchy 18 rounds of trying to allocate the attention of an oxalotl-esque water hydra's three heads, represented by, you guessed it, 3 dice. Let's take a dive. Each round, the game's designated dice roller, which of course is the last player to pet an otter or tame a hydra, rolls the dice and everyone simultaneously chooses how to fill out their sheets with the numbers to accumulate points. You have 3 sheets in total, which may have variation, however all players play with the same 3 sheets as doled out during setup. So you got your ruins, 6 repositories for dice where 1 die unlocks the ability to write in the corresponding ruin for a turn, and then 1 or both of the remaining dice results can be spent to fill in the boxes for different shades of point scoring. And then you got enchantments, which correspond to the 6 ruins and require spending 2 or more dice of greater value and unlocking the next enchantment from left to right, sometimes with immediate bonuses, but often with juicy multipliers to the point scoring for its corresponding ruin. Then lastly, you have a reef, where you cross off numbers or fill in tetrominoes depending on your flavor of sheet, and it's kind of a consolation prize for dice that you didn't spend in the other 2 buckets. Fortunately, the reef unlocks rewards for certain metrics, which you can choose among a pool of bonuses, from points to free enchantments to free numbers that can be used to fill in other spaces in the ruins or the reefs. Do this for 18 otter-led rounds, occasionally triggering beginning of round bonuses, and the most points at the end of the game wins. And that's pretty much it. Well, mostly it. I mean, it's overall a pretty analytical affair. In spite of the cute colors and fun otter and little thematic flourishes in the rulebook, it pretty much loses all sense of flavor once you get playing the game, beyond you are just trying to roll dice, allocate dice, get points, and in that regard, it succeeds. There's a good amount of levers to pull and risk-reward considerations to be made, though the only concession the game makes for variance from player to player is an optional rule for everyone to identify a lucky number, giving bonus points for each instance on their sheets. Reef and Ruins is ideally a sort of pub game, or I just worked way too hard today and want to play a game but really don't want to dive into anything too in-depth sort of game. Lower commitment, so to speak. It sits at this weird intersection where it's slightly too obtuse to be a good introduction for non-gamers, and it's slightly too analytical to call truly casual, but it's also too light to really call a full-fledged experience. But that intersection is the neighborhood in which roll and or flip and writes tend to thrive. As usual, Weird Giraffe brings their quirky charm and classic sensibilities to this style of game and gives it a fresh spin, familiar enough for fans of the company and roll and writes to get what they came for, but distinct enough to set it apart from the rest. And while I tend to prefer more thematically resonant and robust games from this genre, which in truth, thematically resonant and robust games tend to be the exception, Reef and Ruins is well designed, engaging, and captures that forward-propelling on-the-go momentum that R&Ws are known for. And that's our review. But let us know, what is your favorite Weird Giraffe game, and what is your favorite roll and write? Put it in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting, thanks for being such an awesome community. You know that I've been Jack for the Cardboard Herald.